And we're going to get started in a child's. So that's knees together or knees mat width, big toes together. Either way, you're trying to get your seat to your heels, reaching hands, forehead down. We're going to come up for just a second. So if you're just tuning in, we're in child's, the child's of your choosing, whether it's knees apart or knees together. Lowering the seat as close to the heels as you can get it. Making some space, getting the wiggles out, getting the low back and the hips safe and comfortable. Take what you need to make this pose more comfortable, more accessible for your body. That could be picking up the palms of your hands and coming onto the fingertips. If it feels good in your wrists and your shoulders, you could take palms together, hands over your head, sort of like a shark fin. I said it Sunday and I'll say it again. We're in the season of allergies and sinus pressure. So this child's pose will really help to kind of start clearing some of that pressure if you're experiencing it. So take a scan of the body. Note what feels good, where you need to continue releasing. Maybe you could send a little breath to those tight places and tell them, hey, soften up. And then once your body is in a good place, we start bringing the focus to the breath. I love child's because you really breathe into the backs of the lungs. So start to put your focus there. As you exhale, you're breathing away the day, any physical tension. You're clearing your head. And what are you going to do with your breath today? Do you want to count the inhales and the exhales? Counting in for a beat of 4, breathing out for a beat of 4. Or maybe something a little different, like inhaling for a count of 4 and exhaling for 6. Some different ways to get you to focus that in your breath. I always like to imagine deep inhales, I visualize them tracking into my body. And on the exhales, I let thoughts and feelings get carried out. So that way I'm heading truly towards a present moment. Now throughout class you can choose, of course, to focus on your breathing, or if you'd rather practice with an intention, go ahead and start setting that intention now. If you'd rather focus on a word, a sound, a phrase, or of course, you can focus simply on your breath. Seal up your focus with a very deep inhale to the back of your lungs. Exhale completely. And inhale. Press to your table. Knees about hip distance apart, wrists under the shoulders, fingers spread, elbows soft, you know the drill, everything stacked. We'll inhale a cow, putting a little dip in our low back. We'll exhale a big arcing cat. Check in with your wrists. Make sure you're really using the thumb, index, and the pads of your fingers. Allow the body to go deeper into each pose. And then one more inhale up. Exhale, neutral. Take your right hip to the side. Take a look over at it. Little horse bait and tail to open left side body. Bring everything center. Bump the hip left. Take a look back at it. Opening up now the right side body. And come center. Elbows are nice and soft. Give your toes a curl under. Take a little walk back. We're opening up the bottoms of our feet. You know that you don't have to take your hands off the mat. If your feet are tired today, stay a little lower. If you want the intensity, walk hands up. I'll give you a turn so you can see what my feet look like here. I know if I've recently worn a bad pair of shoes, I'm definitely going to be down a little bit lower. So be kind to your body. If you are sitting up, take a moment to shrug back the shoulders. Inhale, fill. Exhale, breathe out. Take a tip forward. Get the toes and uncurl, press to the tops of the feet. Now with your feet down, I want you to start to sit back like you're coming into a hero's pose. Again, if this is too intense, you can be a little bit kind to your body and sit forward. The idea is to stretch out the fronts of our ankles and our shins, because we are going to break down some of those moon salutation elements. So we want a nice warmed up ankle. Taking just a couple breaths here. Really trying to focus in on intention or breath. And then take a little walk forward. Spread. Take your left toe, take your left toes back. Put the left ball of your foot on the mat and press through your heel, opening up your calf. Mindful to keep a little bit of softness in the elbows. Float your left toes, engage your core. Pull your belly button in towards your spine, take your right arm out long. A little tiger pose. Big inhale. Exhale, tap knee to elbow underneath. Inhale some length. Exhale, tap. Inhale, length. Here you have options. Do you want to just hold? Or do you want to bend your knee, catch the top of your left foot with your right hand, a little quad stretch kick? How does that feel on the back? Take a big inhale. Exhale, find the length. Plant the hand, plant the knee. So inhale, roll through just a second, cat and cow, releasing back. One more inhale. And the exhale will take us to neutral. So same thing on the right. Right toes go back. You're on the ball. Waking up the calf. Elbows are nice and soft. Just pressing through the heel. Focusing on the breath. And then the core engages to float up the toes. I should have said this on the opposite side. But you don't have to pick up your left hand. You're still building core strength, especially if you're pulling belly button in. Left hand can absolutely come out if you're feeling stable. And I should say you don't have to tap either. You could just hold, but we're inhaling and filling. Exhaling and tapping. Or just holding the tiger. The 3 count. Connecting breath to movement. Inhales length. Exhale, tap. Hold, go long. And then maybe bend. Catch your foot in your hand. Give a little quad stretch, only if the balance is there today. Float the foot, float the hand. Plant the foot, plant the hand. The cat, the cow. One more inhale. And exhale, neutral. Toes curl. Seat lifts. Downward facing. Heels pedal and press back. Inhale, fill up. Exhale, high plank. You know the secret here. Little adjustments of hands and feet in the beginning are just fine, but I want you to inhale back up. Find the downward facing. That's the length we want in our down dogs. Press, pedal the heels. Exhale, high plank. Ask your buddy, could you move out of the way? Thank you. Lower all the way down to your belly. Toes uncurl, tops of feet press in. Inhale your baby cobra. No help from my hand. Give the toes a curl under, lift the seat downward facing. A little press back. Exhale, walk or step to the front. Inhale up half. Keep the knees soft. Exhale, fold. Fold of your choosing, whether it's grabbing elbows, arms hanging, or interlacing behind the head. Take a little sway for the low back. Shake out the head to release the neck. Make sure knees are soft. Release the hands. Bend so much into the left knee. The right knee looks straighter, but there's a hint of softness. Left hand could come down on the mat. You could be on your fingertips. You could have more than a hint of softness in the right knee to get your left hand or fingertips to the mat. But we're going to inhale, sweep right up. Stack wrist over shoulder. Big inhale, fill. Exhale, right hand down. Soften, heavy bend in right knee. Turn it face so you can see. Heavy bend in right knee. Left knee, look straighter. There's a hint of softness. We're inhaling, left hand up. Now, if you need more than a hint of softness to accommodate the left leg, by all means. Never forcing, never straightening. Big inhale. Exhale, left down. Inhale up, one more, half lift. Exhale, hinge. And now we'll start our very slow roll up to standing. With head coming up last. Again, a shoulder shrug. A lift of heart. For good measure, let's take one more sun A. We'll really make sure our bodies are nice and warm, and then we'll start breaking down the moon. So inhale, lift up. Exhale, hinge. Inhale up halfway. Hands to mat, high plank. Your call. Do you want to lower all or just halfway to chaturanga? Inhale up, doggy cobra. Curl the toes. Lift the seat. A little pedal. A little press. So let's break down those first couple elements. Inhale brings right toes up. Exhale brings foot between hands. Drop the knee, uncurl the toes. So we're pressing through the top of left foot. That takes pressure out of left knee. Hands never have to leave the mat here in this Anjaneyasana if you're feeling it in your left hip flexor. Well, you could, by all means, take hands to knee, sort of a step 2. Or hands overhead. We'll be doing this again, so if the balance isn't there right now, no worries. Soften the tops of the shoulders away from the ears. One more inhale. Exhale, frame your foot. So what I want you to do, your right toes, they're going to spin towards the side of your mat. And they're going to pivot on your left. That's why we want those warm ankles. You're on your left heel. You're waking up the back of your left leg. My right heel's a little bit popped, and that's okay. If yours is popped, I'm going to see if I can't get mine to the ground. I can. Hands to the heart, or hands to the mat. Listen to your body. Figure out if you need to clear something with your head to make your body more stable. Take the hands down. The seat up. Here's the tricky part. We're kind of going to bring both heels in and come down into our traditional yogi squat. For me, that's the trickiest part of a moon salutation. So how does it feel? Big opening in the hips. If you need to come up a little higher to accommodate, by all means. We want our spine up, our chest lifted, waking up the hips. Hands come down, stability. My toes were sort of angling out. Now my left is angling forward. Right comes out, back to that surfer stretch. Waking up now the back of right leg. Left heel might be lifted or flat. Mine is definitely lifted. I'm going to play with bringing my hands to my heart, though you don't have to. A good place for a couple of breaths. All right, hands to the mat. We're going to walk towards our left foot. Left toes to the front, right knee drops. Right toes uncurl, press into the top. And find the position where you want to take Anjaneyasana. If your hands are up, make sure your shoulders are nice and soft, your face is soft, your focus is on breath. All right, big inhale. Frame, give the right toes a curl under. This time we're going to step back into high plank. We're going to keep our elbows in. We'll lower all or half. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Downward facing. Take some pose. A little press of the chest back. We're holding. Taking a little micro rest here. Exhale to the top. Inhale up half. Take a dive. Inhale, hands up all the way. Let's put those elements together. So grab onto your right. Exhale to the left. Wake up side body. Inhale brings you center. Grab left. Exhale right. Inhale, center. Big step. 4 right angles. Our horse or our goddess. Pick up your heels. Drop your heels. Lift your chest up. 5-pointed star. Right toes are going to face the mat. Left foot in a warrior 2. We're going to tick-tock at our waist. One straight line. Fingertips to fingertips, triangle pose. Big inhale. Exhale, left hand down, pyramid pose. Those left toes are probably going to angle towards the top left corner of your mat like they would in Warrior One. Inhale, length to your spine. Aren't you glad we warmed up our hamstrings in that little breakdown? Make sure your knees nice and soft. And take a moment here to just breathe. Pick up your left heel. Spin your left toes to the front. Maybe step the foot back. Knee to mat. Toes uncurl. Press into the foot. Back to Anjaneyasana. How's the left hip flexor feeling? Big inhale. Frame your foot. Right toes to the side of the mat. We're pivoting on our left foot and letting our toes pop, landing on our heel. Hands never have to leave, of course. Hands down. Seat comes up, kind of heel toe into that traditional yogi squat. Inhale, length into the chest, length into the spine. Place your hands down. Extend right. Maybe hands up, maybe not. Hands frame. Another twist and pivot, right knee down, right foot down, press through the top. Back to Anjane. Inhale with hands to whatever suits your body. Big inhale. Exhale, frame. When the right foot lifts up, it goes right back into Warrior One position, toes angling to top right corner. Left knee softly straight. We're back in our big pyramid. And just like we did on the right side, we're going to hold and open up the back of our left leg. Now I want you to bring your left hand inside of your left foot. Open right foot, Warrior Two position. Press your pinky edge as you draw right arm up. Triangle pose. How does that feel? Waking up the side body. The inhale is going to bring you up to that 5-pointed star. Lift up the heart. Hands come up. Ankles tuck in. Sink into that squat. 4 right angles. Inhale, come up. And exhale through the heart. Amazing. All right. Inhale, float your hands back up. Exhale, hinge. Inhale, a half lift. A high plank. And a sun A for mid-measure. Lower all or half. Press through the tops of the feet. Inhale, back bend. Give the toes a curl, a seat, a lift. Exhale to the front. 1 breath per movement. Inhale up half. Take a dive. Inhale up all the way. Exhale your heart up to the ceiling. And inhale to center. Let's balance. So shift all the weight into your left foot. I start by bringing up my right knee. So I'm going to find the connections in the heel ball, turn my toes off. Open right foot, we're coming into a tree. Kickstand it, calf, or inner thigh. Core is engaged. Chest is lifted. If you want to take it a step further, you could place your pinky edge in the front part of your hip crease. Doesn't matter what you choose to do with the right. Left knee, left toes are soft. The bones in your feet are what's holding you up. They're like locked into the mat. You're starting to train your gaze or your drishti at a non-moving point on the floor, or maybe the wall in front of you. We'll bring our hands up, or we'll relax our shoulders. Big inhales. Head clearing exhales. Alright. One more big inhale. And exhale your hands to your heart. Release your right foot, bring it in front of you. Big stair step. Engage your core. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to send our right foot back, like we're moving it through mud. We're going to come into our warrior three. Make sure your left knee is nice and soft. Your spine's long. You could take your hands overhead. I prefer to keep them closer to my heart. See how I had to just reset here? Resetting is okay. Doesn't matter how many times you get out of the pose, as long as you get back in. Bring your foot back up. If you're taking it through mud, we're not done. Big stair step because I know you're strong. Right leg down. Steps. Whoa. The steps. Feet down. Waking up the ankles one more time. Alright. Weight shifts now to the right. Find the connection points, heel ball, right knee soft. We're going to take left leg out, kickstand, calf, or inner thigh, or pinky edge and hip crease. Core is engaged. Shoulders are back, making lots of space in the chest. We'll start with hands at heart as we train our gaze on the non-moving point. The focus is on breath or intention. And then we might lift hands up, but making sure never to introduce tension in the tops of the shoulders. If you fall out, just get right back in. You'll be that much stronger for it. But know that you might need a balanced frame to find a physical balance. So clear out. Be present for this pose. Alright, ready? Left foot comes down. Big stair step in front. Core is engaged. And we're going to move it through mud. Slow, slow, slow. Notice how as I do this, I draw my hands into my heart. For me, it's stability. You could keep your hands out long or take them out long. Finding length in your spine, softness in your right knee and your right foot. The bones are growing roots, so you can turn the muscles in your feet, or at least relax them, soften them. And then left foot comes up. Through mud, nice and slow. Back to the big stair step. Left foot comes down. We step it out. Tops of feet down. Alright. So let's release our legs one more time. Inhale, big lift. We'll exhale, hinge. And we'll hang out in forward fold. So if you need a half lift, take it, and then exhale, hinge. Variation of your choosing, whether it's grabbing elbows, interlacing behind head, maybe it looks like grabbing toes, or interlacing hands overhead. This pose doesn't just feel great in the backs of the legs and the low back, it's an excellent pose for the head, really calming. Inhale, come up half. Step back to a high plank. Come down to your forearms. Make it a forearm plank. Take your knees to the mat. Give your toes an uncurl. Keep your core engaged, belly button pulling in. Elbows are stacked directly under your shoulders. Sphinx pose. Take your right ear to your right shoulder. Find space in the left side of the neck. Let your chin fall across. Left ear, left shoulder. So you have options. Do you want neutral neck? Or do you want to pass, take one more pass, right ear, right shoulder. Left ear, left. Head back to neutral. Palms to the corners. Inhale up to a seal, elbows soft. Little lift, chest, chin, heart. Lower. Palms under your shoulders. Inhale, come up. And back into a child's pose, right where we kick things off. Check in with the back. What feels different from the first pose of class until now? Check in with the head. Are things a little bit clearer? And then return to your breath or any intention you may have set. To your seat. Legs swing out. Let's find our straddle. Right leg long, left tucked in against our inner right thigh. And I like to start by turning and facing my heart over my knees and then taking the hinge. So waking up, opening up the back of the leg. That balance series we took was pretty intense. Our legs deserve some release after that. Now, if you wanted, you could drop your right hand or forearm in front or in back of your leg. And you can take your left hand overhead like you're reaching for your big toe. And we're creating a lot of space in our side body. I love this pose for the low back. Our side body, when that's tight, we tend to be tighter in our low back. Really important. So if you are taking right side body over right leg, I want you to inhale, lift your chest up so you're really opening up out of side body. Big inhale. And then exhale, hinge forward into the center. Finding new places to open in the back of the right leg and the inside of the right hip. Make sure your knee is a little bit soft here. Inhale, walk up. Before we head to the opposite side, let's put a bend in both of our knees. And take a little windshield wiper to rinse out our hips. Plant the feet. Extend left. Tuck right in. So we're starting first by turning, facing, and hinging heart over. I use this as almost a warm-up for the back of the leg, as well as the low back. Right now, you're just focusing on breathing. of softness into the back of your leg. Exhaling any thoughts, feelings, worries, concerns away. Alright. Do you want to drop the arm? Do you want to take your side body bend over your leg? Maybe today's the day you touch your toes, maybe not. You're definitely lifting up your heart just a little bit. Deep breaths. Your mind's eye just trained on that one point, the intention of the breath, whatever keeps you here and present. Big inhale. And on the exhale, we melt our heart towards the center of our half straddle, and we just hinge and notice the change in the stretch. If you need to make any adjustments, of course, if that transition was a little bit much, I understand. Knees nice and soft. Breathing. Inhale, walk up. Bend. Plant both feet. Windshield wiper. Find release. And keeping your knees bent, just come onto your back. So just a moment here to let the spine neutralize, to let the low back relax towards the mat. And I want you to take your soles together, your knees apart. Come into the reclined butterfly. Right hand comes to the belly, left to the heart. Checking in with the low back, the insides of the hip. Feeling the breath rise and fall. Take the hands to the outsides of the legs. Gently bring your knees together, your soles to the mat. Low back relaxes. Take just one side, a couple sets of windshield wipers, knees side to side. Plant your feet. Walk your heels in, line them up under your knee. Palms are on the mat, fingers are reaching towards the heels. Of course, they don't have to touch, that's just where they're headed. So exhale. Inhale, roll your hips up to a bridge. So, we'll check in with the low body first. Legs are parallel apart. But you can imagine you're squeezing into your knees, almost like you have a block between them. Or you can imagine you're pressing into your big toes. That's how you know you're engaging all the right parts of the low body. Palms could press to the mat, or fingers could interlace and you could come up even higher on the shoulders. Here's another good pose for the sinuses, for anyone who might be feeling allergies this time of year. If your hips start to sag, inhale a little boost. Release your hands. Roll your hips down nice and slow. Allow your low back to neutralize against the mat. And take your feet side, or you should say your knees side to side. plant your feet. So remember, heels are under ankles. Palms are reaching. We're going to exhale. And the inhale will guide our hips up. We're finding that parallel leg, the squeeze of the knees toward one another or into the big toes, still leaving space between the legs. Now you could interlace again, but if you want to play with some other fun arm variations, my favorite is on the next inhale, bring your hands overhead. So the backs of your hands are on the mat overhead. You could even bring your palms by your ears like you're coming into a wheel. And just note how that changes things in your low back. Maybe it's a little bit of a trickier pose. Maybe you have to remember to activate the low body. Take a big inhale. And as you exhale and lower, bring your hands back over. And take a moment to find neutral in low back. And only when you're ready, start windshield by bring knees side to side. Plant the soles. Draw the knees into your chest. Give yourself a little hug. Take a rock. Give the low back a little rest. Alright. Plant your soles. Third, final. Now I'll call both, because I don't think I've called a single bridge this whole quarantine, or a single wheel, I should say. So if wheels in your practice, but you've been neglecting it a little bit like I have, take your palms by your ears, keep your elbows in, press into the soles of your feet and the palms of your hands, and inhale up. Now if you say, no thanks, not for me, you could inhale up to another bridge. You can play with that wheel arm variation. Your call. As long as your hips are up and you're in a little inverted back bend, I will say you are doing it right. Let's take one more inhale in our poses. Exhale, lower. Take some time. Back relaxes. Start slow. Windshield wipers or knees to chest. Alright, everyone bring their knees into their chest, exhale, squeeze, legs up, and we'll open up to happy baby. Knees dropping open, grab onto your feet, a little press of your tailbone towards the mat, the complete opposite of those back bends we just took. You could rock, you could find stillness, or you could straighten the leg. Give your knees a hug, a squeeze, extend your legs long. You gotta watch out for the cat. Palms are down. I'm gonna come into a fish. Maybe you'd like to have a seat on the backs of your hands or just near the seat. Walk your elbows in as you inhale your chest up. Draw your shoulder blades together to find opening across the fronts of your shoulders. And then reach your crown to the mat. Another good one for the sinuses. A little wake up to the thyroid and a big opening for the heart so you can let in compassion and love. Sort of embracing the vulnerability of an exposed heart. Inhale your eyes up. Look forward. Off your elbows. Take a bent knee so you can find a release back. No arcs. Everything softens to mat. Knees side to side. Feet plant. Right ankle heads to left knee. We'll make our figure four and we'll recline our pigeon. So your options: back of thigh, top of shin, or you could even leave your foot planted if your hip is feeling particularly tight tonight. Now, if you did want to go deeper in this pose, you could take pinky edge into your left elbow crease, right knee into right elbow crease. You could cradle your low leg and extend your left right into a cat. But if you try that cradle and you don't like it, just head back to the reclined pigeon. Most importantly, you're allowing your shoulders and your face to soften. Practicing the mindfulness. I believe it will be the 6th minute of our yoga practice. You're concentrating on one point, almost on the brink of meditation. If your left leg's still extended, draw it back up. We'll collectively meet in a reclined pigeon for a final inhale. And on the exhale, we'll take left foot to mat. We'll uncross right. We'll let knees fall side to side. And then we'll plant. And we'll take left to right. We'll make our figure four. We'll find the reclined pigeon of our choosing, even if it's a cradle. Allow your body to start releasing into the posture. I'm looking for that jhana, that focus, the concentration. All other thoughts darken. This point of concentration, the single beam of light. If you had chosen to cradle, draw your right knee back. We'll collectively meet in a reclined pigeon. We'll fill up completely. The exhale will bring right foot down. The left will uncross. Both feet will plant. We'll take knees side to side. Plant your soles. Left leg comes long as right knee comes to chest. We're exhaling to squeeze in. And then we're floating our toes, interlacing wherever we'd like on the back of our right leg, mindful to keep our right knee soft. We know you can play with pointing the toe, flexing the foot, or staying neutral. Try, and this is going to be tricky, to not introduce any tension into your shoulders. Yes, your arms are doing work. We want the body to be as soft as possible so we can focus on breath, so we can focus on releasing tension and softening into the pose. Inhale your forehead up towards your shin. How does that feel? And as you exhale, lower. Maybe this deepens the pose. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe you stop at the same point. Keep focusing on breath. Now instead of our regular twist, I want you to grab your right hand with your right leg with your left hand and guide it across the body. Usually I'd have you take this with a strap. The stretch won't be as intense without it. If the flexibility is there, you could always circle grip your big toes. We're opening up the side of our right leg. We're reaching our right hand. We're facing the ceiling or maybe taking a look towards the right fingertips. A nice big wake up for our right IT band. Inhale your head center. Bring your leg back across. Bend. Give your knee a nice big squeeze into your chest, maybe off to the right just a little bit. And send your leg long. So inhale your left knee in. Give it that hug and squeeze. And then extend your left toes, interlace wherever you like on the back of the leg. Remember, pointing toe, flexing foot, or keeping it neutral are all options. Try it out and see how it changes the pose for you, and then you can find where you'd like to hold. Don't forget, shoulders are as soft as they can be for holding the leg. Face is soft. As you start to feel more opening in the back of your leg, would you like to inhale your head up to your shin? And exhale lower in search of a new edge? No worries if you don't find one. Okay, right hand's going to do the work. It's going to grab your left leg and take it across the best it can. So you're searching for opening in the side of your left leg. That's sort of that IT band territory. I like to extend my opposite arm so I know my shoulder relaxes towards the mat and I have a little extra stability. Head facing ceiling unless you want that look to the left for the neck. Head center, leg across, give it a squeeze, draw right knee in, both get a little hug, a final little rock, big inhale, exhale brings you to Savasana. Remember, this is where we practice turning off our bodies completely. The whole class was a lead up to this pose. Your body sinking into the mat, into the floor. You're disconnecting from your thoughts. Now you can move past that concentration point and see if you can't meditate. Inhale, fill up deeply. Next inhale travels to fingers and toes. Open, close your hands where you roll out your ankles and then work your way up to wrist rolls. Drop your right ear towards the mat. And then the same on the left. Hands come overhead. Just a bit of length. Come to your right side. Next inhale takes you to the easy seat. Yogis, as always, thank you so much for sharing in this practice, and namaste.